Tashkent, the capital city of Uzbekistan, then part of the Soviet Union. I was there as an interpreter for an International Women's Congress. I was 32 years old. We were 12 interpreters, 2 guys and 10 girls. One of the girls was my friend Tamara. She actually recommended me for this job. Tamara was a couple of years older than me. She had a typical Russian look, blonde, blue eyes, but I never saw her as a competition. I liked the guy called Alexander. Alexander was in his mid-30s. He was well-built, blonde, dark eyes, and he wore his blue jeans so tight. He looked so sexy that when I first saw him, I thought, this is a perfect man for me. I was taking every opportunity to catch his eye. I guess he noticed that, and he smiled to me several times. Oh, his smile was so warm, so meaningful, so promising. We had a small talk once, but that's it, nothing more. And the time was pressing. One day, Tamara and I at breakfast were looking for a place to sit down. And suddenly, we were invited to her table by the representative of Mongolia, Udval Sonomin, the chairperson of the Mongolian Women's Committee. We recognized her immediately. Udval was short and white. She wore a baggy gray suit, making her even more square than she was. She had black hair with gray streaks put into a bun on the top of her head. However, when she started to speak, she turned into an attractive woman. She had beautiful, soft voice. Her smile was so friendly, and her eyes were full of fire. Her speech at the Congress was a bomb. She said that at the age of 63, she already had great-grandchildren and a 13-year-old son. The result of big love with a man 20 years younger. We had a nice chat with Udval, and eventually started to talk about men. I told her about Alexander, my feelings. However, I sighed. It's not an easy task. There are so many women around who are younger, slimmer, and taller than me. The competition is high. She said, all that is nonsense. It doesn't matter. You know, when I was young, I was riding my horse about Mongolian steppes, and 5 or 6 guys were following me. They all wanted me. I can give you good advice. Just come to the object of your desire and ask him, what do you like, tea or coffee? He says tea. You say, oh, I have good Indian tea in my room, and invite him for a cup of tea or coffee, depends. Or another thing, she continued, you can ask him, what's your favorite color? He says, green. You go to the nearest department store and buy a green blouse, put it on the next day, or a green scarf. Udval, I said, I'm on business here. I don't have time for shopping. And besides, while I'll be putting on my blouse, somebody else will be taking off hers. She admitted the existence of such a risk factor. Well, I still decided to try it. At lunchtime, I saw Alexander and I said, what do you like, tea or coffee? He said that he preferred tea. And I said, you know, every evening I sit on my balcony drinking a cup of good Indian tea. He smiled to me with his signature smile while I was about to continue and said, sorry, it's my turn to interpret. I need to dash. Well, next time when I saw Alexander, I asked him, what is your favorite color, Alexander? He said, red, of course. that's the color of our national flag. I appreciated his irony. Very the answer closed the opportunity because I didn't have anything red in my suitcase. At dinner time, we were sitting with Udval again, Tamara and I. I told her about the failure with the tea coffee, and I said that his favorite color was red. And unfortunately, I didn't have anything red in my suitcase, not even a pair of red panties. People paused and said, I have another piece of advice. It will work. You know, the best is to have a middle person in the matters like that. Ask your friend to come up to the guy and say, my friend is mad about you. We both looked at Tamara. Tamara promised to do it for me, and she did. I saw her talking to Alexander. Well, things seemed to move a little bit from the standpoint. Once I stood on the balcony looking at the panorama of Tashkent, and I felt a gaze. I turned back. This was Alexander. He said, Tashkent is a beautiful city, isn't it? Oh, yes, very, I answered. And atmospheric too, he continued. Have you already been to the famous bazaar? Yes, I have. I said, I've been there, but I did not see much. I was there guiding a silly American woman. I'm planning to go there tomorrow. Oh, he reacted. Let's go there together. And this time, he'll be my guide. Saying that, he looked deep into my eyes and said, see you tomorrow, and winked. Oh. Oh my God, that night I could not sleep. My thoughts were racing. What if after the bazaar, he invites me to his room? Shall I go? Shall I not? I read in women's magazines that having sex too soon was wrong. Okay, I played by ear. At 4 a.m., I felt like going out and to air my head. The hotel was sleeping. The corridors were empty. This was the kingdom of silence. And suddenly, I heard the sound of an opening door. And this was the door to Alexander's room. I hid myself behind the column. For the fraction of a second, I thought that was him, and he just couldn't go asleep and wanted to go out for a walk. But instead of Alexander, I saw Tamara. Tiptoeing out of his room, holding shoes in her hands. She gazed around and hastened to the elevator. What? No. Really? Am I hallucinating? I could not believe my eyes. Really, I just wonder whether the bitch wore red panties. A couple of years after, I met Udval again. This time in Moscow at another women's congress. We hugged. She said, you know, these pieces of advice are such crap, they don't work. No kidding, said I.